Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Ambitious Coach. I'm officially back in my office after being on the road for probably 2 weeks almost. I went to Denver to speak at an event, came home and immediately left to take my family on a trip to Florida. And then I came home for 5 hours and went straight back to the airport and took a flight with my friend Stephanie to Denver to see my favorite band at Red Rocks. It was such a magical couple of weeks. So fun. And I always tell my clients, you get to design your life. You are capable of having everything that you desire. And this week for me was one of those weeks where it was like a little pinch me week where I just felt so blessed to have a business and to be able to take off and be financially blessed as well. And just overall, no big stress or worry in my life or in my business. It was really, once again, one of those pinch me weeks. And my summer has just been so fun so far. So thanks for sticking with me. And I am back in my office, so yay. And you'll be hearing a ton more from me over the next few months. I do appreciate all my listeners who listen every single week, but I've been really scattered over the past few months. But I promise come August, more podcast episodes will be happening, more content on Instagram, more offers. I am just so ready. I'm feeling it. And I hope you are too. I feel those big shifts happening in the universe right now. And I know it's going to be such a big end of the year and a huge 2026. So I'm putting those vibes out into the universe, and I hope that you can feel them too. In today's episode, I sat down with one of my favorite past clients. Her name is Aly Dabbs. She is a wife, mama of 2 young boys, a certified pediatric sleep consultant, and now a published children's book author. So yay, I'm so happy for her. I'm so excited for you guys to hear this episode. With being a sleep consultant, Aly has helped dozens of moms who are exhausted toddler moms work through those big bedtime challenges, those big bedtime emotions, and really teaches their kiddos how to sleep through the night and in their own beds. In our conversation, we went beyond sleep and dove into her journey of writing her first book. It's called Bedtime Hearts. It is a heartfelt children's book that's all about the real-life bedtime struggles so many parents face and why sleep is such a big gift to our bodies. In this episode, we talked about how the idea came to her, how she brought it to life, and what it looked like to fully go for it, even with a full plate, being a mom and being a business owner. And if you've ever had that big creative dream in your heart, you are going to love this episode. So everyone, welcome Aly Dabbs. I have one of my favorite people here today, Aly Dabbs. She is coming out with a new book, and I just wanted her to come on and talk all about it. Welcome, Aly, to the podcast.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for having me. I have been a long-term listener, so I'm kind of like a little fangirl over here to be so excited to be on your show.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've known each other now, 2+ years-ish. And you have had such a journey. So I would love for you to share a little bit about how you got started in this world and how you decided to be an author and starting this new book journey. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about that with the audience.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a crazy story. So I decided to become a sleep consultant a little over 2 years ago, and I was kind of feeling stuck at work. I was working 8 to 4 in HR, and I had a baby on the way. I had a toddler at home, and I wanted to be more present with them. I wanted to be more fulfilled at work, and I just wasn't super happy with where I was. And I kept thinking back to what else I could do to feel better and to be able to help other moms. And with our firstborn, we had hired a sleep consultant. And so that kind of just kept coming up of that would be a great way because sleep is so important. And I remembered how much we struggled and working with a sleep consultant. If they had bottled all of that up, I would have said it was magic. And so I reached out to Jane with the Centers of Pediatric Sleep Management. I got on one call with her and I thought about it for a little bit, ended up signing up for the course. I became certified as a sleep consultant through CPSM. and then knew nothing business wise, which luckily her course does have some things in it that was helpful. But from there, I kind of right away after my second baby was born, I started working with clients and kind of getting moms pro bono through Facebook mom groups and things like that, and doing little things to kind of get my name out there. But I still felt really lost. And so I just kind of abandoned it. I didn't do anything because I didn't know what to do. And I had this like super long to-do list that had like a million things on it that was too overwhelming. So I just put it in a drawer and didn't look at it. And I remember jumping on a call with Jane after graduating, and she kind of called me out on it. She was like, you can show up for your business like you are now, doing nothing, and that's what you're going to get out of it. Or you can do the thing and you can have a business. And I recommend you call Allison Anderson and talk to her and just get started. You just have to do something. And I probably could have walked away from that call and been very discouraged and just, whatever, I'm not doing it. But I didn't. I called you. We booked an appointment. I did some of your shorter classes on Instagram stories and things like that. And I really found it to be helpful. And then, of course, we became little business besties and worked together all last summer for 4 months, which was a huge game changer. And I kind of if I'm summarizing, think that last year, so 2024, really focused on goals. So building my sleep consulting business, which is Restful Baby, learning how to work with clients, learning how to be a business owner, how to show up on social media, which I knew nothing about before working with you. And so that was really helpful and clarifying and just a lot of fun because it's you.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
And so kind of doing all of that all of last year. And then I also started kind of unofficially niching down to work more with toddlers because I really liked working with the little babies, but I just thought there was something so special about toddlers. Plus, my own was becoming a little toddler big kid at the time. And I just love that age group and really kind of leaning into that feeling that there's so much more involvement and fun. And you and I working together kind of decided you're the fun, quirky toddler sleep coach. You're the sleep coach for the kid. That's how you're showing up. And that's how I like to market myself on social media and to be bubbly and fun and awkward. And because I am those things, I am awkward. And so I just kind of rolled with that. And I was still working with babies. And then kind of throughout the New Year's and everything, I kind of just still felt a little bit stuck, but I didn't know what I should be doing still in some capacity, even though I felt a lot more confident in others. And so I kind of just paused. I kind of just took a step back. And so if 2024, I would have said that my focus was on my goals. And then leaning into 2025, kind of hitting pause, I found another podcast too. I think it's To Be Magnetic with Lacey. And so kind of following pings and your own feelings, leaning into what really, really lights you up. And I remember working with a client last fall, and this was the sassiest little girl that I had ever worked with, ever. And everything that she was doing, it was just I thought I was a really great sleep consultant. I knew okay, your kid's not sleeping, I can help you. And I remember working with her, and she was just taking all of my tricks and throwing them out of the window. And so I was okay, I really have to dig deep and figure out how to help this little girl. And she ended up sleeping, but really finding what motivated her was hard work. But I remember laying in bed and some of the things that she had done. I was laying in bed that night and I was I could write a book about this. I could write a children's book about sleep, about real life struggles that parents are going through, about things that these kids are doing and how bedtime and sleep is so good for our bodies. And I kind of awakened this big spark that I had buried and pushed down since high school or even middle school. And, if people are listening that know me, they probably remember these awful short stories that I used to write in high school that were worse than Lifetime Movie Network stories. And, but I just had a book anywhere I went. I was the super lame kid at pep rallies where everyone's standing and cheering. And I'm just sitting in the bleachers, reading a book, not paying attention at all. And so this spark happened of, oh my gosh, you should be an author. And then it was kind of around the time that we were wrapping up. We were still working together. And I remember one of the homeworks that you gave me was where do you see yourself in 5 months, or not 5 months, 5 years, and the things that you want to achieve or what you want to be known for. And I remember answering you in the audio message back and actually getting choked up and starting to cry a little bit or tear up and just speaking of I want to be an author. And it was actually the first time that I had said it out loud since probably high school, like to anyone, not even my husband. It was like, I just like said this out loud. And it was this raw moment. And then having that coupled with working with this client and you're like, I should write a book. I kind of then, with that pause in 2025, shifted more to just leaning into what lights me up and what I really truly feel I need to be doing instead of trying to market myself as a sleep consultant, try to get as many clients and make as much money as I can and try to figure out where I fit in that space. And it was just a game changer.
I remember we were working together and you messaged me once and you were just like, I bought this course. Like, and I remember you having some, like a little bit of like buyer's remorse, but also like, I think this is it. Like, this is what I want to focus on right now. But yeah, like it's an investment, but like, I'm a little scared because I feel like you were like really leaning into this new identity of being a business, or not necessarily just a business owner, but as an author. So I'd love for you to kind of explain that like feeling you had, but like how that actually led you now down that path, that you truly now are, this is who you want to be. This is who you are. And it's just, and I think everybody listening needs to understand this. Like, this is all done within a few months, in like a year. This can happen so fast for you where you make a really quick split, like a decision. It's risky, but you made a decision to be like, this is who I want to become. And I'm going to now act as if I am this person, and bam, like things start happening really fast for you. So I'd like for you to kind of like, I guess, what were those feelings that you had when this happened, but also like, I guess, understanding that it was uncomfortable, but knowing that like, this is what you were meant to be doing.
Yeah, I remember when I did. So I bought a 2-month course on becoming a children's book published author or a best-selling children's author. And so it's a 2-month course. And I signed up for it. I watched like a 60-minute video of intro about it. And then at the end, they pitched the class, the 2-month class to be a part of. And I immediately, like impulsively signed up. And then I felt so sick to my stomach. I was like, my heart was racing. I was walking around the house. I was like, I should call my credit card company and tell them it was fraud. And I was like full on panicking. What did I just do? Because I don't do those things. Like I ask like 5 people, what should I do? Do you think this is a good idea? Like I go back and forth. I run around in circles, but I didn't. I just hit the button and was like, I am doing this. And then I immediately.
Wait, hold on though. Isn't that really good marketing that this girl like literally had like a 60-minute webinar? Everyone listening. I love that. Webinars still work.
Oh yeah, they got me. But I tried to email them and be like, I didn't mean to buy this, and like see if they would let me out. And they're like, no, sorry. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm doing it. I'm in it. Like I bought it. Like I'm in this 2-month course now. And I have bought a lot of like different products, courses, like things in probably my whole lifetime. And every single penny was worth it. Like I learned so much. It was gold and it was so helpful. And it was at the end of it was like, I am a best-selling children's book author. Like my book's not even out yet, but I am that person. Like, and to just really be able to feel that in my body. And it's like all these things that I have done and I'm still working with clients on sleep consulting and things like that. But it feels different. Like it feels huge. Like this is exactly where I am supposed to be. And the things that have been happening since then, since saying I'm an author and I'm doing this, since starting to write a book, connections have just started showing up. Like people are like, oh, I know an illustrator. Oh, I know a best friend who has written 17 children's books. They would love to be your mentor. I know this person that you could come with me. Please come with me to the farmer's market and talk about your book. Like all of this stuff just started happening. Bam, 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 which never did before in my sleep consulting world.
The universe does that. It's like this was the pathway like that you needed in order for that light bulb moment to just happen for you. Like, hey, you have this client that isn't so great, but that you need to write a book for her. Bam. Like that all happened for a reason. And I'm very, you know how I am, guys. If you guys are listening, you guys all know I'm very spiritual in that sense of like, it might have sucked in the time of like having that client that wasn't so great, but it was like, but this is actually a really great story and I can create something from this. I know that you had mentioned that you like always knew that you were supposed to be an author. Now, what happened? Like, did someone say something to you or like, where was that block of like, why didn't you become an author then and there? Like, you know what I mean? Like how did that happen? Like, or where was that shift there?
Yeah, great question. First, before I forget this thought too, to piggyback off what you were just talking about, it's funny because I really thought writing this book, when I started writing it, this is going to leverage me more as an expert as a sleep consultant. Having a published children's book will make me and show up more as an expert for sleep consulting services. And what I found to be was the opposite. That being a sleep consultant was the stepping stone to be an author, that this is really like the end goal and not the other way around like I imagined it. So it was kind of funny, like just leaning into what lights me up and what I'm supposed to be doing is what I thought was the book will help me be better as a sleep consultant and show up more to people. But it was really truly the opposite. Is that was just a stepping stone to get me where I am now. But yeah, so writing in high school, I actually like those terrible short stories that I used to write. I did have a boyfriend one time that was like, oh my gosh, like, please read this book. And then he was probably like, oh, this is garbage, which it was. It was terrible. Like I said, worse than Lifetime Movie Network. Like, but I don't know. It was just kind of fizzled out. It was just no one that I have ever known has shown up in the art world, has shown up as an author. And so I know like sometimes it's seeing is believing. And if you don't know, if you haven't seen something to become true, then it's really hard to believe in that. And, kind of getting that trust muscle with yourself. And so that's been like a big journey of mine is learning, like, just, you can just truly show up and just make it happen. Like kind of like these like buzzwords to manifest it, but like really just deciding this is who I am and this is how I'm going to show up just really changed everything. But I do remember getting this is just silly, a fortune cookie in high school or decades ago, I don't know, but it said, you will be an author. Just that's all it said. And I put it in my wallet and I kept that thing. And I went to go, when I started writing this book, I went to get it because every time I changed wallets, I moved it. I kept this thing.
God, what a story. I can cry thinking about that. That's like one of those moments. Oh.
Yes. Well, I went to get it and it disintegrated. It was so old, just completely like, it's just a part of my wallet now, I guess, but I carried it around.
Yeah, I feel like we'll have to maybe reach out to some of these Chinese food places to be like, where is this fortune cookie? We need to find another one.
Yeah, I need it back.
Oh, that is such a great story. Well, okay, you need to tell everybody, what's the name of this book?
Yes, it is Bedtime Hearts. I know you guys can't see it, but I'll show you, Allison. I got the proof copy this week, so I get to hold my book.
It's so cute. Well, to explain a little bit about the story.
Okay, so it is about a little girl. So like I do a lot of I have a webinar on breaking away from co-sleeping. So it's about a little girl who wants to sleep in bed with her parents. So she's wanting to co-sleep. And then, all the ups and downs and things that parents struggle with when they're not getting sleep, all the things that they've tried, but they're not sleeping. They've tried these things. The kid's like, nope, I don't want any part of that. They're struggling at work. They're falling asleep or they're too tired to get their work done. Like all of these things are happening. And then in the end, like the whole focus, since it's Bedtime Hearts, is on if you guys, listening are sleep consultants and you've heard of door hearts, like using that method to kind of do a fun little game and getting your kid or the person's kids to sleep through the night. But it has a fun twist, a little spoiler since no kids hopefully are listening, but it is about a little girl whose parents are actually the ones that want to co-sleep with her. So it's really funny and just like the things that come up, and it's like the parents are trying to squeeze in this little bitty toddler bed, so they're hanging off, they don't fit, and the kids at daycare, but she's too tired to play. So it just really flips that role reversal. And then in the end, after her going through all these things to try to get her parents to stay in their own bed, she gets to stretch really big and she's all alone in her bed. And then she's so excited the next morning that she got to sleep in her bed all alone. So kind of bringing it back full circle back to her sleeping in her bed.
Oh, that is sweet. And yeah, perfect for sleep consultants. I know a lot of sleep consultants are listening right now. So is this something that maybe they can add to like a welcome packet or an exit packet? I know that a lot of you guys at the end of working together, maybe send them gifts. Like explain a little bit about how they can use this in their business.
Yeah, that would be great. I always, for my sleep consulting clients, I always send a gift at the end, which is usually like a little care package. I also always include a book that's about bedtime or sleep in some way. So this would be a great thing to include. It also in the very back has like a practical exercise for how to use the door heart. So if they've worked on that with you at the end of working together, then it's just going to be in the book and another reinforcement to continue that positivity around sleep, how to use the door hearts. There's like a little template in there as well. And all that great stuff.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your book, your journey. I don't know, like where can people follow you? I guess what's the next step with people listening today?
Yeah, so Instagram's probably where I show up the most. My tag or handle is Aly _sleep consultant. So Aly, ALY _sleep consultant. They can find me there. All the book stuff, all kinds of greatness. The book will also be on Amazon to purchase, so you can go there, which I hope you do, because I am going for bestseller status. So spread the word. The link will be in the show notes. Thanks to Allison. And I would love it if you checked it out. And then if you are a sleep consultant and you're listening and you want to buy books in bulk, then you can certainly reach out to me. You can send me a message on Instagram or, get in touch with me, and we can work out, like a wholesale agreement or something like that if you're looking to buy in bulk and offer a little discount that way.
I love that. Yes, guys, go buy her book. And what's the official date that it comes out, just in case people are listening kind of late or early?
Yep. July 22nd, 2025 is my release day.
Awesome. Yes, I'll put the link in the show notes so you guys can buy her book. And yes, please message Aly if you want to buy some books in bulk. And yeah, I just appreciate you so much. I just loved following your journey over the last few years. This is so amazing I love I had this dream, I had this idea, and very quickly you made this happen for yourself. And I'm just so happy for you. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Any last words of wisdom for the audience today?
The only thing I can think of is be scared, do it anyway. That was when I started this process. Yeah. I wrote that on a sticky and I hung it up above my desk. It's still there today. And whenever I'm feeling a little uncertain, I just look at that and I just keep going.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Well, thank you, Aly. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at Allison Henderson _coach. That's ALLISON Henderson _coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.